Hey everybody, welcome back to Groundhog's Garage. My name is Jim. Hey, I got a fantastic score on Facebook Marketplace that I'm going to show you here in a second. Or if you looked at the icon, you already know what I got. But I follow this channel called Cars and Cameras, and John and Isaac and now Charles, you know, they fix up mini bikes and go-karts and they do all this fun stuff. And I started following them back around the fall of 2019, just after they finished having their Mini Mayhem down in Busco Beach, I think it is. And I thought, man, that looks like a lot of fun. And it actually inspired me to get the Dingo go-kart that's sitting in my shed in pieces still. But so they didn't have a Mini Mayhem in 2020, but they're having one this fall and later in October. And I thought, well, I can definitely get the Dingo back together before then, and that would be a ton of fun to go down there and do that. But yeah, in the meantime, you know, I got that little DB30 mini bike, which was way too small for me. 3 horsepower just isn't, 3 horsepurs just isn't enough to push a 200-pound man around. So I sold it to some guy and who was getting it for his 6 or 7-year-old son, and I'm sure that kid's ripping that thing up and down all over the place. But anyway, I got this score on Facebook Marketplace, and that's what this video is about, and I hope you enjoy it. But now I definitely have an option to go down there in case the Dingo doesn't get done. Or if I do get the Dingo done, I can take both of them down there, which would be just as much fun. And if I'm lucky enough, I can get one of my buddies to go with me. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, check out the score that I got and see just the little things I had to do to get it running again. And there's a little sad story in there. Kind of disappointing, I think, but that's just my opinion. And I hope you enjoy the video. And let's see if I can get the Mini Mayhem this year. That would be a ton of fun. This little adventure started with my Dingo go-kart, which is still sitting in my shed. I've been waiting to work on that because it needs a lot of parts. I do have the motor for it. And I've been working on my Grand Am, so which a couple videos will start coming out about that if they haven't started already. So then I was on Facebook Marketplace and I came across this little Doodlebug DB30 mini bike for $100. Well, that should be fun. It was just missing a couple pieces. For the most part, it was all there. So I went and bought it and fixed it up. And 3 horsepower just isn't enough for a 200-pound man to push it up, push his fat butt up and down the street. So I sold that to a guy, and it was for his 6-year-old son, who I'm sure is enjoying the heck out of it, because for a 6-year-old, that bike probably scoots. So I had some money in my pocket, and I'm on Facebook Marketplace again last night, and this mini bike pops up, and it looked complete, and I didn't really know what it was, but the belt for the clutch was broke. So I just told the lady, I said, hey, if I can, I'll come and get it tomorrow around noon. And she's like, yeah, that's fine. So I went and picked it up, and I spent about $100 more than I sold the little Doodlebug for. But it looks nice. And when I saw the suspension, though, I thought, this is a pretty nice bike. Well, I didn't know what it was until I got it home and I started looking it up. So let me show you what I bought. I'm waiting for help to get it out of the truck. It is, and I hope that comes out, it's a mini bike MB200. And it's the first generation, because I guess the second generation has a disc brake. But the belt is all tore up. So there's a local shop nearby, I looked it up, that might have a belt. They're closed right now, so I can't tell for sure, but tomorrow morning around 10 o'clock when they open, I'll be there. And when my neighbor gets here to help me get this out of here, we'll film that. So let's take a look at this score that I got. Now, I didn't even know what I was buying. Again, I've mentioned that before, but sorry, the neighbor's cutting the grass. But I just told the lady I'd take it because it's in one piece. There are so many mini bikes and go-karts on Facebook Marketplace that, oh, it only needs this, it only needs that. $500. I got this for $300. The only thing that's wrong with it is the belt for the torque converter clutch is shot. You can see it in there, I think. But chain needs oiled, kind of rusty, no big deal. There's no gas in it. And you know what is funny? I called almost all over the whole state as far as I wanted to drive to get one of these belts. And it's like they're nowhere. I had to get it online, so I have to wait a couple days to get it. But it's out of gas. And there's something, this doesn't feel right. Maybe it's okay. I'll know once I get it started. So I'm gonna put some gas in it. Let's get it fired up and let's see what we got. It won't go anywhere, obviously. Maybe I should cut the rest of that belt off. But yeah, let me cut the belt off. We'll put some gas in it and we'll see if it starts. Yeah, that belt is, what's the word? Goomba? No, not Goomba. Googats! That belt is Googats. So I'm gonna have to get some pliers and a knife and probably cut it off of there. The belt's coming off in pieces, clearly. I ended up having to take the clutch off because it had glued itself to the clutch itself. And I'm gonna have to get something and clean that off of there. It's got rubber residue. And don't want my new belt to get all boogered up just because there's some stuff left behind. So you can see I polished the face. Oop, it goes the other way. So I polished that face up, got all the old rubber off of there. The back clutch is still a little rusty, but it's not it didn't suffer the burn. And I got most of the belt out. And I just checked the oil. It's going to need change because it's black, but it's full, which is a good sign. So let me put this clutch back together and we'll put some gas in it and let's see if we can get this thing started. Okay, so since I've never owned a bike with a clutch like this, is this something you would grease up? It looks like it's supposed to move, but you let it fly like it is, or do you grease that up when you take it apart and clean it because it sticks a little bit? So if you could let me know down below in the comments, I'd appreciate it. So I'm just doing some normal checking and some maintenance and took the air filter cover off, and the air filter isn't even really dirty. Now the kid's grandpa, now the guy told me that this thing probably only has 40 hours on it. I don't think it has that many. I don't know how long it takes for one of those belts to wear out, but this thing looks pretty fresh. Now putting gas in this thing is kind of wonky. The input for the gas tank is like in the center here, and there's no easy way to get in here. So I was going to take this off, but on this side looks like they wanted to do that too. You can see the inside of that screw is stripped, the inside of that screw is stripped. So if you have one of these, what do you do about filling the tank? You don't take this lid off every time. Do you put something in here, so like a spout or something that you can get to that tank, or do you just use like one of those flexible hoses that you can pour in here? You have to let me know. Comments, guys, comments. But I had to take a pair of pliers and got a hold of the side there so I can get those. They're all going to come out. But I can't imagine anybody takes this thing off every time they got to put gas in it. Okay, I got it started. Here's the throttle. Here's the throttle cable, but it's not returning. So, you know, if I'm a kid and I don't know what I'm doing, and this mini bike with the broken belt, throttle that doesn't work, a couple other little things, I am thoroughly frustrated, and I would give this thing away for a good Xbox game, and it's a shame. Because just like that, it's fixed. That's heartbreaking on some levels. All right, let's try this again. We gotta fix this. So this thing sat on its side for about 3 hours on the trip back, so it's probably full of oil in the combustion chamber. That's why it's smoking. Turn the choke off. There we go. Thing purrs. Might as well change oil while I'm at it. I figured since I had the time, I'd change the oil, and let's see together just how dirty it is. Let's see where's a good place for you to see, because I think it's going to be pretty black, even though it doesn't look like this thing's got many hours on it. It's can you see that, how dirty that is? So we'll let that drain, put some fresh oil in there, and just continue to spruce this thing up a little. So I wasn't gonna share this story, but this is kind of sad to me. Now everybody's different, just my opinion, but Mom was selling this mini bike for her son, and she was younger, so I can't imagine her son was any older than 15 maybe. I would probably say maybe even 12, 10. The mini bike was at her father-in-law's house. So I get there, and they both meet me, the father-in-law and the mom. And the father-in-law goes, well, if I knew he was selling this, I'd have bought it and fixed it and rode it myself. And I'm thinking, you're this kid's grandfather. Shouldn't you have just fixed it anyway so he could ride it? I'm just speaking about myself. If I had grandkids and they had a broken mini bike at my house, I'd be all over that thing in a heartbeat. Everybody's different, but I kind of thought that was kind of sad that he would fix it for himself, but not for his grandson. I mean, the belt, I bought 3 belts for 20 bucks. I just put maybe half a quart of oil. I don't know how much oil it holds. It's not much. And a little elbow grease. For 20 bucks, his grandson could have been riding this thing all over the place and been happy with it. Just my 2 cents. But I thought I'd share that with you. If you got grandkids or kids and they're not using something, Is it broke? Maybe you go out there and take a look at it for them. Or maybe you do a little father-son project, or a grandfather-grandson project, or a grandfather-son project. Who knows? But yeah, it's a nice bike. It needed just a few little things, a little oil here and there. When those belts get here, I'll be riding this thing all over the place. Kind of breaks my heart a little bit, but that's just me. I think my clutch is coming off here. So I got the oil change, got gas in it, got the belt off the clutch, cleaned it up a little bit, and now we just have to wait for the clutch and we can take it for a ride. I'm just letting it warm up a little bit to let the new oil kind of circulate in the sump there. But I'm going to stop the video now. And any advice you can give me about how you put gas in yours? What do? You put like a little filler in here. Because that kind of seems weird. And then the splines on the clutch, do you grease those so that the bell housing can slide in and out from easier? Or is that not necessary? Click on subscribe and turn on your notifications, and you'll get notified when I get the belt and take it for a little spin. Thanks for watching.